Yo, is that Elon Musk? Yeah, it's me in the flesh. Here's $100 million worth of crypto and a yacht. Oh, and a jar of peanut butter. What? No way. A whole jar? You know, Elon, I don't care what they say about you. You're a pretty cool guy, but what is that sound? Fuck. School rules make absolutely no sense. Who the hell decided it was a good idea to have us wake up at 8 a.m. to go and learn? And then if we're late, we get detention? You just gave us a problem and a punishment all in one go. At least everyone always says that. But is it really true? Today we're gonna go over some school rules and decide whether they're useful or useless. Are they really helping us out, or are they just making us look silly? And the first rule we have up on the chopping block is no hats or hoods. This rule affected me on a deep and personal level because I was bald throughout my entire schooling career. And no one ever failed to mention how bald I was. And the teachers would never let me cover my head. Wearing a hat or hood in school was treated like capital murder, and there was literally no warning. If you're seen with a hat or hood on, you're done, you're cooked, finished, finito. And this rule was especially dumb because I never understood the reasoning behind it. Whenever I asked a teacher or an authority figure why we can't wear hoods in school, the response would always be, oh, it's just for safety, so we can see the students' faces and make sure they're not hiding anything under their hats. But if that's the case, I might as well come to school naked. I would have a much easier time hiding something in my backpack or my pocket than in my hood or under a hat. So if anything, the rule should be you can't wear anything to school. Think about how dumb that sounds. If I came to school with an atomic bomb strapped under my hat, you're telling me you wouldn't be able to see it just because I'm wearing a hat. See, the problem isn't the hats or hoods, it's that you're blind. So as the first rule, I'm gonna have to say the no hats or hoods rule is straight BS. I kept hearing all this talk about security, but what about my insecurity? I'm bald. The next rule is hall passes and asking permission to leave. There are only a few situations where you would need to leave a classroom, and that's to go use the bathroom, get a sip from the water fountain, or go to the nurse. Call me crazy, but I don't think any of those reasons require adult permission. Now, of course, there are those kids who lie about where they're going and just end up smoking in the bathroom and skipping class. So they should definitely have to abide by these rules, but they only make up like 2% of the entire school. So why do the rest of us have to suffer? What is this, North Korea? In what world should I have to ask permission to take a shit? Pets don't even ask permission to go use the bathroom. They just go wherever they're standing. And maybe that's the secret. Anytime I would ask a teacher, can I use the bathroom? It's always, I don't know, can you? Bro, what are you talking about? Of course I can. I'll do it right now. Some of them even go as far as to tell you you can't use the bathroom during their class, so you gotta take care of all your business beforehand or after the class. But excuse me, that's not how that works. I can't decide to magically go pee. It just happens. And the worst part about getting permission and a hall pass is the hall pass itself. For some odd reason, a lot of teachers decide to put all their creativity into the hall pass and then do nothing else fun for the rest of the year. They'll have you walking around the halls looking like an absolute idiot. One of my teachers, bless her heart, she was pretty cool, gave pretty good lessons, but one thing I did not like about her was her hall pass. I remember the first day of class, she told us she had something special planned for us, and we're like, ooh, what could it be? She came into class the next day and whipped out a cotton gin, a miniature cotton gin, and told us that was our hall pass for the rest of the year. Take a look at me real quick. Tell me what color my skin is, and if you're blind, just take a wild guess. Yeah, I'm black, like under the bed black. And Shorty had me carrying around a cotton gin to go use the bathroom. It wouldn't take a brain surgeon or a professional chef to cook up the most egregious jokes. One time I walked into the bathroom and there was a kid in there. He saw me with the mini cotton gin in my hand and said, fitting. And that was it. Fitting. That one word was all it took for me to accidentally flush the cotton gin down the toilet. I don't think my teacher had bad intentions per se, but the students who saw me with the hall pass most definitely did. I don't know how it is right now, but back in my day, we had to use QR codes to get in and out the classroom. So if my options were either to have a hall pass or a QR code, I'm choosing a hall pass every time. Next up is homework, and I know that's a trigger word for a lot of people, so I apologize in advance. But do you want to know a fun fact about homework? The guy who invented it, this guy right here, the devil himself, intended for it to be a punishment for misbehaving children. It was never meant to be a punishment for everybody in the school. Allegedly. I couldn't find a single source to back that claim, but I want to believe it's true because homework is definitely the worst kind of punishment someone can ever have. Forget the death penalty, make these niggas do calculus. Think about it, there's no way someone sat there and thought, these kids have had a long day at school. How can I make their day feel just a little bit longer? Eureka! I'll give them schoolwork to do at home. What a marvelous idea. Make this guy president. Think about all of the classes you've almost failed because of homework. And think about how much easier it would have been to pass that class had homework not been a thing. The words home and work should have never been combined to make one full word. It just doesn't make sense. And it doesn't make sense in any other capacity. Imagine you had a long day of work at your 9 to 5, then you go home to chill and relax, and you have more work to do from your 9 to 5 to bring to your 9 to 5 the next day. And if you don't bring that work to your 9 to 5 the next day, you're fired. And to make matters worse, some teachers had a rule where you couldn't do homework for another class in their class. Imagine how much easier life could be if instead of going to art class and doing art, you could do your calculus homework for the next period. But no, doing homework for another class while in class was treated like an act of terror terrorism. We're literally at school, the main place where I'm supposed to learn and grow and do my work. And you're telling me instead of doing this difficult worksheet, I have to instead make a mosaic. I don't think that rule could be any more backwards. So for that, I'm gonna put any rule that has to do with homework in the lowest tier possible. Shout out to any teacher who never gave homework. Up next, we have no food or drinks in the classroom. This rule isn't really that bad, but just in general, it sucks. You could be in class about to die from hunger, whip out a Nutri-Grain bar getting ready to scarf it down. Next thing you know, the police are knocking on the door of the classroom because your teacher called them and told them you had contraband. And to make matters worse, our only other option for not dying of starvation was school lunch. This nightmarish abomination. Like, what even is this? I will give $5 right now to anybody in the comments who can tell me start to finish the process it took to whip up this crime against humanity. This plate looks cancerous. Whoever the lunch lady was that made this, don't let them cook ever again. And you're telling me my only options are to either eat this tumor or starve throughout the entire school day. Much like the rules about hall passes, I think these rules are important because some kids like to take advantage of eating food in class. Like, you'll be in third period history bored out of your mind, and then out of nowhere you smell a seafood boil and you turn around and there's a kid in the back of the class having the whole buffet. And now because this kid couldn't keep his seafood boil at home, I can't even have my Nutri-Grain bar. This rule is pretty dumb, but it's really only a mild inconvenience. There are a lot of ways to get around it, especially if you're really hungry. The next rules are school drills, and I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. School drills are supposed to teach us safety in case there's ever an emergency. For example, if there's ever a tornado warning, everyone go outside into the hallway, crouch down, and cover your head with your hands. And if you talk during the school drill, you'll get tossed into the tornado. You are not allowed to talk. What do you think, you have freedom? Hell nah. I never understood why they made us walk as slowly as possible, knowing we're training for a very stressful situation. No one's gonna be walking at this pace when we're running from a fire. If there's a fire, you expect us to get into a single file line and walk safely down the hallway and outside the school just to chill and watch the school burn down. And I can't even take any of my stuff with me. In the case of a very possible fire, you expect me to just leave my stuff inside the school and watch it burn down? Hell nah. If there's a fire, trust and believe you can call me Usain Bolt. I will be sprinting out that classroom with my backpack. My PSP will not be a casualty in this fire. And if we're on the highest floor, I will be jumping out of the window expeditiously. You can catch me outside. What kind of weak ass fire is gonna allow us to walk outside in an orderly fashion? Do you know what fire is? It spreads like wildfire. And what is up with that loud ass alarm? I promise if you start the alarm, let it go through one time, no one's gonna forget we're in a fire. You can turn it off after the first round. The alarm sounds like literal death. Whenever I hear it, I'm ready to write my will and have my funeral arrangements made. And I don't even want to get into school shooter drills. What kind of tactic is it for us to just hide inside the classroom? The shooter is here with us. You're giving bro the entire playbook. He's doing recon. I think instead of having us do regular shooter drills, teachers need to pick out the quietest kid in class and just exclude them from the drill. But when it comes to usefulness, I have to admit school drills are very important because we all need safety in our lives. But that's all I have for today, guys. Let me know if I forgot anything in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, make sure you guys go outside, drink plenty of water, and have a nice day.